It's the moment Red V fans will have on repeat all week.
Sloan decides to kick. Here come the Dragons. Here come the Dragons. Oh my goodness. Who writes these scripts?
The fairy tale ending for the Dragons, providing relief for both fans and players alike.
That whole 80, our boys fought really hard and showed a lot of guts, showed a lot of heart. And yeah, to be able to cross that line for the boys, pretty much right on the buzzer was, very special.
When all looked lost after James Tedesco's try, the squad rallying together for their fans in Cogra.
We could have thrown our hands up and just, complained about it and said, oh, better luck next week, but we didn't. And here we are, just to get the win the way we did, it was like a movie script almost, so I'm so happy for us.
The passion from Ryan Carr in the coaching box, a refreshing sight to see.
And that's just the excitement coming out in me that I feel like I'm out there with them, and I think that's how you should feel when you're coaching, that you're out there next to these boys, because I know how much they put into a game of footy and what they put their body through.
The players feeding off the energy from Carr's first game in charge of the Red V.
He's a very passionate guy, and it's great to see that he doesn't actually contain those emotions, because at the end of the day, they're all humans too, the coaches.
So passionate about his footy, so passionate about this club. And that was pretty funny to see that, but also a big lift for us boys too.
The squad now looking to continue the momentum from their win into this Thursday's match against the Dolphins. Jack Pirie, WIN News. UFC fans can expect more of this come July. Alexander Volkanovski confirming his next opponent in the form of Yair Rodriguez after weeks of speculation.
Yeah, it's happening, you know what I mean? So again, it's whether I'm getting myself in trouble saying that, but it's already out there, so I don't care. But that's it's going to happen, so I'm looking forward to it.
Unifying his division, a way of achieving the Volk's goal of staying active this year.
Being active is how champs should be, you know what I mean? There's not too many people that like to just stay active, you know what I mean? I feel like I want to be more active than some of the contenders, which is what you want to see out of your champions.
Volk and his team already in camp to prepare for the unification bout.
And since we're fighting Yair, we're bringing in some more kickboxers and strikers this camp, as to opposed to the last camp where we had a lot more wrestling base. And it's just the early days of the camp, but everything's going good.
Once again, the UFC featherweight champion relishing the chance to prove his doubters wrong.
Just to really shut these guys down. When people think this guy's dangerous, watch out for this, watch out for that, and then just watch me just completely nullify everything they've got and shut them straight down. It's always beautiful to just systematically break people down.
Volkanovski and Rodriguez will fight as part of UFC 290 during International Fight Week in Las Vegas, with talks of a rematch with Islam Makhachev later this year. Jack Pirie, WIN News, ringing the bell for a second straight year. Culburra's Tyler Wright putting on a surfing clinic on the final day at Bells Beach. The 29-year-old taking down Carissa Moore in a hotly contested quarterfinal.
Taps the lip, gets out front from the cutback, and she'll just dig in again on that open face hook. So looking real smooth through these smaller sections.
Wright then going on to take down fellow Aussie Stephanie Gilmore in the semi to set up an all-Australian final against world number 1 Moni Picklum. The Culburra surfing product leaving nothing out there in the final.
Tyler with a lot of speed, more of a bowl on this one. Great float. Tyler sets up the big gouge and then has enough time to shut it down.
Scores of 8.17 and 7.83 securing the win.
Personally, I've done everything I've ever wanted in this career and more, way more. So to be here and to get to work with a team that, are just for me and focused on what I want, it's been a dream.
Right now moving to world number 2 and back on the water at WA's Margaret River Pro next week. Jack Pirie, WIN News. They're the two Wollongong athletes set to don the green and gold. Delta Amadzovski and Chelsea Wayne named to represent Australia at this year's Youth Commonwealth Games.
It means everything to know that all the stuff that you do behind the scenes pays off, and having that support behind you as well is always great.
I guess as an athlete, it's every athlete's dream to represent their country, and it just means that all the hard work has gotten you to such a high level.
The announcement yet another feather in the cap for 16-year-old Delta, who's most recently broke the national record for the 100-metre hurdles.
It's been, a really good journey so far. Obviously I train 6 times a week and just a lot of hard work goes into those training sessions to keep up with all the performances that I do.
And a dream come true for discus thrower Chelsea ever since she stepped into the circle for the first time.
It means so much. I've wanted to represent Australia since I was about 6, and it's awesome to see how all the hard work is finally paying off.
The budding superstar setting some ambitious goals heading into the Games.
I'd like to get underneath the 13 seconds for hurdles and hopefully maybe crack a new PB in long jump.
I want to try and see if I can get a medal, and I'm mainly just looking for experience in representing Australia.
Both will join the rest of the athletics squad travelling to compete at this year's Games in Trinidad and Tobago in August. Jack Pirie, WIN News. Celebrating history across the years. Albion Park Oak Flats Eagles reaching a milestone every club hopes to achieve, this year entering their centenary anniversary.
We're very privileged to be in the president's role to hit this, this milestone. So it's very exciting, and I don't know, words can't really describe the excitement around the club and the buzz for this year.
The club proud of the quality of players it's been able to produce over the years. One of those players is current Rooster Drew Hutchinson, who holds the club close to his heart.
You still sort of look back on those days of playing for Albion Park and how important it sort of meant to you. And I suppose it's along with the mates that you make as well. I mean, my best mates still play here.
Winning their first premiership in 1929, Hutchinson was part of the club's last first-grade premiership in 2012 and their heroic victory over Gerringong. Joining Hutchinson in that premiership-winning squad is current Eagles head coach Jason Hooper.
I still talk to people now about that grand final and winning the game with 12 blokes with 25 minutes to go. That was unbelievable. We were old. We were an old pack. So that probably stands out the most to me.
With achievements like the Clayton Cup and 14 first-grade premierships to their name, club captain Josh Sainsbury now looking to continue the club's legacy into the future.
You get a little bit starstruck when you see those boys, and especially when they're coming up to you telling you good job or they tell you something and try and help you out. It means a lot. It means the world. And I just hope, I think everyone in this club hopes they can live up to the expectation that those boys have set.
Players across the generations reuniting next month as the club hosts a gala dinner, with a team of the century to be named from Eagles players past and present. Jack Pirie, WIN News. He's the man with a deadly serve. At just 80 years old, Robert Morgan isn't a player to be messed with. His most noteworthy result of late, winning the 80-year-old Oceania doubles title.
We were able to, so I got eliminated in the singles, but we were able to win the doubles. So that was good with a friend of mine, Herbie Chi. He's from further down south.
Bob has been impressing his peers at the club since joining in 2004.
Bob has been an engineer and travelled around the world and never really settled in one place, and he's come to Kiama in retirement, and it's made it his home, and he lives around the corner, and he's here every day.
The now retired engineer enjoying a second wind in his career on the court.
All the highlights have happened after I retired. It's been David has been really involved in getting me into the competitions and into the seniors tournaments.
Bob's advice for playing sport for your later years in life is simple.
Keep going, and that makes a lot of difference. And sometimes you feel like you give up, you've got a sore arm, sore back and so forth. Keep going and overcome those, and it'll work out.
The serving master giving me some hope of revitalising my tennis career as he prepares to head down to Canberra to compete in a senior competition this weekend. Jack Pirie, WIN News. Justin Van Heerden was seeking revenge in his featherweight title fight. Brazilian Rod Costa, the last man to floor Van Heerden, giving him a round one flashback.
And there's that left hook that lands.
But Van Heerden wasn't going to let lightning strike twice, the 29-year-old landing combinations on his Brazilian counterpart before delivering the final blow.
It's almost like a game of chess.
Oh, that's down. He's landed a great punch and he's out. Rod Costa is done, and Van Heerden retains his featherweight championship with a great punch on Rod Costa.
That win making it 6 in a row for the featherweight champ.
And still
world eternal featherweight champion, Justin Van Heerden.
Last time I was in this building, you know, I was on the other end of that. Rod caught me, he was able to put me away. So, you know, that was a big sort of, as they say, you sort of learn, you don't lose. So that was a big sort of process for me to go, okay, I don't ever want to feel like that again. I don't want that to happen, knowing that I didn't turn up.
The featherweight champ acknowledging the efforts of his coach Joe Lopez and the Wing Dan freestyle fighting gym.
I'm sure I drive Joe crazy sometimes, but I honestly, he's changed my life and he's made me the best fighter I could ever, imagine to be.
Van Heerden now waiting for a call from the UFC to see if he'll fight this September and make his debut on the world stage. Jack Pirie, WIN News. He's out of the gates early and flying onto the world stage. 14-year-old Jack Nunn earning his chance to represent Australia on European soil.
So we're going to head over to Romania in Bucharest for the World Junior Motocross Championships, and yeah, that's going to be a really cool event, so can't wait to go over and do that.
The young motorhead hoping to test himself against elite international competition.
I am looking forward to going and seeing what people are like in different countries, where I'm staged or levelled with other countries.
Jack's hard work and sacrifices over the years paying off to get to the stage at such a young age.
There's no slacking off, it's 100% all the time, and training on the bike, off the bike, mentally, stretching, so much stuff.
A dream come true for the up-and-comer since first getting on a bike at just 5 years old.
I always wanted to go overseas and race, but definitely didn't think I'd be able to go at the age of 14 years old, so that's so exciting, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have.
Jack and his family flying over to Romania later next week before setting his sights on the Aussie champs in Darwin not long after. Jack Pirie, WIN News.
Welcome back. After a 2-week break, the Dragons return home ready to breathe fire on the Warriors at WIN Stadium tonight. Jack Pirie is at the Wollongong home of the Red V. Good evening to you, Jack. This is a big game for both teams.
That's right, Bruce. It's game day down here at WIN Stadium with both teams in a must-win situation. The Warriors, no doubt, will be looking to piggyback off of Shaun Johnson's recent run of form to secure their top in the spot 8 on the table. Meanwhile, the Dragons' Ryan Carr's side will be trying to get off the bottom of the table, but back up their win against the Rabbitohs. Now, Ben Hunt is set to back up today after his Origin game on Wednesday, also despite the fact he requested to leave the club on Sunday. But while he dominates the news off the field, another player making headlines today is Jack de Belin, who makes his 200th appearance for the club.
Jack de Belin always had dreams of playing in the NRL.
I'll just have to keep working hard, I suppose, and just do all the extras and do everything right on and off the field, so I'm going to have to work hard.
Fast forward 12 years and that hard work paying off, with the Dragons lock now set to make his 200th NRL appearance tonight.
So I'd say I'm pretty proud. A lot of hard work and dedication's gone into it. It's something that just hasn't magically happened. A lot of hard years of work have been put into this. So yeah, at the same time, I'm pretty proud. Yeah.
After playing through the junior pathways and debuting back in 2011, de Belin always backed himself to get to the stage.
I've always been optimistic. I always knew I was going to crack it. It was just a matter of time, I suppose. Probably didn't hit it as quick as I would have liked, but not for 1 second to ever doubt or think I would make it.
De Belin hoping to cap off his milestone with a win on home turf against a tough New Zealand Warriors side, but Ryan Carr is optimistic in securing their first back-to-back win of the season in front of a home crowd.
They're playing some really good footy. They're doing a good job, the Warriors. I think they've had a good year so far, but for us, we like priding ourselves on playing our best footy at home. Here at WIN, the crowd will be out hopefully behind us.
Now the Dragons are also welcoming back Jack Bird, who missed the last 2 games due to injury, so it's a big night for the Red V tonight, and you can catch all of 9's coverage on the WIN network from 7:30. It's going to be a big game, Bruce.
And hopefully it's not going to be too much of a tough ask, Jack. Thank you very much from WIN Stadium.